Hear me, but now you can. Welcome out to Kojak's live stream Saturday night. Got the players come in, a couple of them running a few minutes late, but we will get the action going. We're going to be starting off. Looks like the chip is on the black side, so that means Pot Limit Omaha from Kojak's Poker Club. Action's going to start with Mr. Robert Worsham under the gun, sitting in seat number 2. Billy will be at the table in just a minute. Action moves around. Philip's going to let it go. Corey's going to say, I would like to see some action tonight. He's got Jack 64, very playable hand. We're going to turn on a little air conditioning over in this place. Three-way action, $60 in the pot. $25 is the action. Robert leads out. And nobody had a 9. 2 9s on the flop. You don't got a 9, you're not going to continue from there, especially if you don't have pocket aces. First pot of the night goes to Mr. Robert Worsham. Can't win them all unless you win the first one. And birthday girl Amanda is in the house. I wish y'all could see this piece of cake that she just gave me. She jipped me of the strawberry.
I ate it.
She
All the way over here.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this cake, I wish you could see it. I'm showing it to the camera like you can see it.
I know.
She
Or
ate the strawberry.
Smell-o-vision.
Smell.
Smell it. It smells like angel food and strawberries.
Did we do good?
Yeah.
All right. Happy
Thank
birthday.
you.
Sorry I embarrassed you in front of everybody.
No, you're not.
I know. All right, action just picks right back up. We've got Curtain Call Curtis. We nicknamed Curtis Curtain Call because he loves to see that river. Sometimes picks up the win with it. So we've got Ace 7, 74 versus King, Queen Deuce, Ace 10, 5-3. He folded 5-3. That's gone in the muck. Turn card comes out. A deuce of clubs. 6, 9, 6, deuce 4. That's going to give Paul the check mark with his king. Still a scary board. Goes check, check. Paul's going to pull in the second hand of the night. Mr. Billy Ward, set in seat number 7. Usually see him in seat number 2. He missed out on that tonight. Gave up his good luck seat. Try something different. Updated the chip count. We got 3 people at 1,500. So pick it right back up. 4 players going to the flop. Not much in the hand. Let's see what the flop comes in. Billy, king 6-4-3. Flop comes out with 2 hearts. Curtis is holding the nut hearts. Nobody has a jack in their hand. That's going to make this interesting. We're heads up $100 in the pot. Actions first on Curtis. He leads out with 50. Half pot bet. Half pot. Corey doesn't really have much to continue the hand with, so he's going to let it down. Current chip count 1,600 for Phillip. He's up. Kenzie and Billy both have 1,500. Paul 11. Robert 10. Corey's right under 1,000, and Curtis is at 515 after pulling that pot. Perfect. Kenzie's joining the table, so that means the action just got wild, wild west. They tend to like to inflate pots, put maximum pressure on their opponents. We'll see how that goes. Curtis, first act, I think he just called without looking at his cards. Six-way action. Heading to the flop. Flop comes out 10 of spades, 5 of clubs, deuce of clubs. We have heads-up action now. Turn card comes out 4 clubs, goes check, check. River card is a king of clubs. 4 clubs on the board, straight draw out there. Curtis does check it up. Robert does not elect to bet. Showdown. King Jack is going to be the winner. King 10, sorry, 2 pair. 2 pairs the winner. Curtis pulls in another pot. Sorry, nibbling on this cake a little bit for Amanda's birthday. If you weren't out at Kojak's today, you missed some insane action. On Saturdays, we run $500 high hands, 2 of them. One from noon to 5 p.m., the other from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Highest hand of the night wins $500 at the end time of each of them. Mr. Jamie Grantham picked up the first one with kings full of 5s, 500 crisp dollars in his pocket. Right now, I think a boat is in the lead, but I don't remember which one. I'll check out here in a moment when we can to see who is in the lead. Action first under the gun on Kenzie. He's going to call the 5. Raises it up. Robert bets the pot. 25 is the action. He's got those American Airlines with the 74. Double suited. Pretty good starting hand. Felipe in seat number 5 makes the call. Corey makes the call. Seven-way action. Seven-way action. Flop comes out king of clubs, six of spades, king of diamonds. Looks nice to Philip. He's got king in his hand. I don't see any other kings. Oh, there it is. Corey has it. Corey's got the boat, king six. Philip leads out. 125 it looks like. 175, excuse me. Bets the pot, 175. Actions on Corey to call. Philip does have two overcards to Corey's 8 or 6. If Corey hits an 8, he of course has a bigger boat, kings full 8s. Felipe is looking for a queen or a jack to have the bigger boat. We are now heads up. Turn card comes out, a deuce of hearts, no help. He checks, and Corey, of course, bets $525. At this point, even though you're holding the naked king, that's a great laydown. Not a lot of people can do that in PLO. In Hold'em, if you've got a king, you got to go with it. Two cards in your hand. In PLO, at that point right there, when it goes pot, and then they pot it again on the turn, you know they're holding the boat. It's so much easier with 4 cards to be holding something that is needed. So, button moves around. Hand number 6 of the night. Under the gun is Mr. Paul D'Addario. Miss Yvonne looks to be the next to come in. She's been on vacation, enjoyed herself some Denver, Colorado, I do believe. Actions raised it up. 25, re-raised to $65. Billy's going to get it in. Corey does raise it with 25 with king, king, queen, deuce. Billy re-raises with jack, jack, 98. Actions over to Curtis. He's got 10, 10, 9, 3. He makes the call. On over to Paul. He makes the call. So everyone in the hand has a pocket pair. Deuces, kings, jacks, and 10s. Let's see what happens on this flop. Flop comes out. 9 of spades, jack of spades, 5 of spades. That gives Billy a flopped boat. Nobody is holding spades. Billy didn't have a flop boat. Sorry, he flopped a set of jacks. He turns a 5 of clubs to complete his boat. Corey's drawn to a king, and that's the only person that can catch up at this point. So $50 to Corey. Billy's trying to maximize the profits here. Corey does make the call. He's dodging a king. River card comes out, and it is a black 4 of spades. That puts a check mark by Billy's name. $370 in the pot. How can he maximize the value? He throws out, looks to be about $175, maybe $275. Bet is $225. I was way off, and Corey's going to let his 2 pair of kings and 5s go. Billy shows the jacks. Game change. Billy pulls it in. Billy is now up to 1,700. He's your chip leader early. Mr. Felipe embarking on a piece of that birthday cake for Miss Amanda. Super rich, super great. Good evening, Yvonne. You couldn't hear that, but she did say good evening, everybody. So action's going to change. Button is now in seat number 1. We're going to be flipping around to No Limit Hold'em. Once again, welcome out everybody watching. go. Kenzie's going to raise her up. 30's the new action. 30's new action. We're going to start this hold 'em off with King Jack. Billy's got speed limit. Kenzie's got King Queen. And Paul's got 10-9. Flop comes out 9 diamonds, 6 clubs, deuce clubs. That gives Paul top pair. Bet it out at $30. Billy's going to make the call. Kenzie's thinking about it. He makes the call with those 2 overs. Billy's looking to hit that set of 5s. And a 10 comes. 10 of spades. That gives Paul 2 pair. Well, everybody's still alive in this hand because if Billy hits the 5, there's a 5 of clubs and a 5 of hearts out. Kenzie's looking for the jack. Billy lets it go. River card comes a 3 of spades. No jack to complete. Kenzie's straight. Bet and fold just happened just that quick. $395 first hold'em hand. Right in on it. As you can see, as the table fills in, action will get hot and heavy. Already over $8,000 on the table, and it's not even full yet. Still filling up. Action is guaranteed to be hot tonight. Chatting with the viewers here. Oh, so we got a hand brewing here. As I was typing that, I hear raise. 3-bet raise to 85. He 3-bets it with 10-5 offsuit. That tells you what kind of game we're going to have tonight. Is he on the right scanner? 10 or 9? Richard, Kenzie may need to get his cards read on seat number 9, not seat number 10. $175 bet. Flop comes out queen 6-5. We see Corey flops top. Paul's got a pair. He may not be ready to go. He does get out of there. Corey makes the call. We need to move Kenzie's reader to number 10. He's putting his cards on seat 10.
I did.
Okay. Kenzie raises it up. Corey bets $200. Kenzie raises to $600. This is going to be the biggest hand of the night thus far. So we've got heads up action, $1,800 in the pot, heading to the river card. Ace comes out on the river. That does complete a flush possibility.
Corey's all in.
All in call. All in call. So Kenzie flips over the king high flush. King high flush, and it trumps Corey's 2 pair. He got there on the river. A little sneaky raise. Joining me in the booth is Mr. Chris Gwynn. Little tricky bet. He raises the 200 on the turn with a flush draw, and it hides the potential for the spades in his hand. An ace comes on the river to give Mr. Corey Smith 2 pair. but Kenzie's flush draw got there also. Incredible move by Kenzie. That's what makes him so tricky.
See, he's in 10.
All right, 1,000 behind. Mr. Corey's back in there, so Kenzie does pull in the beautiful, beautiful win. So this will be one of the last few weeks that we have the live stream table where it will be moving into Clyde's room, from what I hear. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Oh, that is awesome. Corey looks down at 66. Billy looks down at K9. He's going to let it go. Curtis says, I got Jack 4. I got a flat tire. It's suited. I'm making the call. Kenzie
suited.
Kenzie got 5-4. So we got three-way action. Three-way action. Flop comes out 10, 8, 6, 7 on the
4-5
turn.
is looking awful good right now. Oh, maybe not so much. Corey's got to like his set of 6s there.
Yes, absolutely.
Kenzie looking for a 7.
So, as you can see, Kenzie has the straight. So Pot is heading over to him. For some reason, we didn't get the 7 on the flop. There was a 7 on the flop. So Button moves around. Button is now on Corey. That's going to put Billy under the gun. He's not going to be there, so that's going to give Curtis first action. We're still on Hold'em. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more hands of Hold'em. Then we get to everybody's favorite, Pot Limit Omaha. We got a sleeper straddle going with Curtis sitting in seat number 8, though. I doubt that will get through.
Curtis laid it down.
All right, Ace 3 versus Jack 9 versus Jack 5. Ladies and gentlemen, apologize about that. I've been reading all the hands to you, commentating on all the hands. I had the mute button on. I apologize for that 10 minutes. All right, so we got 5 players. $25 is the bet. $25 is the bet. Curtis has 3 4s in his hand with an ace kicker. Robert may call one here. 3 of clubs on the turn. Doesn't help Robert out too much. He does pick up that club draw with it. Curtis bets just enough. 25 on the flop. 35 on the turn. Robert's looking for any club or any 10, and he does not get it. Robert checks to Curtis. Curtis has to bet here. And Kenzie's your chip leader, 25 hundo in his stack. Button moves around. Felipe's going to be first to act in this PLO hand. PLO is so much fun. If you guys don't play it, I would recommend learning how to play it. But you have to have the stomach for high variance hands. Billy raises it up to 20. He's got a playable hand. American Airlines, Jack 3 with a nut spade draw. Curtis makes the call with Jack 8-8-4. Paul's going to make the call with Queen 9-9-6. Robert's going to make the call with a nut club draw and 74 suited in spades. He doesn't want to see spades. Felipe's got 2 pair in his hand, 55-66. We got a pot brewing, $100, 5-way pre-flop. Flop's going to come out. All right, so $100 out. We've got a call. We've got heads up action now. River card does come out, a King of Hearts. Billy shows his pocket aces. That is going to be no good. Pot is moving over to Mr. Daddario. Button moves around. I'm not exactly sure who's sitting in seat number 4. We'll see in just a moment. That looks like Robbie Clark. He's got the Dos Equis. That 100% is Robbie Clark. New player to the game. Sunday Bounty Tournament tomorrow. Sunday Bounty Tournament tomorrow. 2:30 p.m. Action kicks off. $260 gets you 25,000 chips and a $50 bounty plaque. Every player you knock out is worth a $50 bill. Billy's going to straddle it up. Curtis going to make the call of 10. Kinsey makes the call of 10. Paul makes the call. Robert makes the call. Robbie's probably going to make the call. So we've got 6-way action, $60 in the pot. Flop comes out. 10 diamond, 8 heart, 8 club. 10, 8, 8. Robert flops the open-ended straight draw. Billy's going to lead out with a $50 bill. Goes Curtis and Kinsey both fold. And Billy pulls in the win. Button moves around to Felipe. That puts Corey Smith under the gun. He's sitting with a VPIP around 60% right now. Let's see what happens here. He's going to let it go. Billy's going to let it go. Curtis now action. Makes the call for 5. Kinsey says, not today. We're going to raise it up. 20 is the new action. King Jack 10-9. Paul's going to make the call. Robert wakes up with a hand. Robert, last week we saw him not raising with aces over and over and letting people trap themselves. He did exceptionally well last week with that method. Let's see how it pays off today. Flop comes out. Ace of spades. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. King of clubs. 3 of hearts. He disguises his set. 6 of diamonds on the turn. There's a Broadway draw and a wheel and a half draw in there. Felipe is looking for a 2 or a 7. And that's about all the hope there is besides Robert's hand. Nope, Jack 10 and Queen Jack. We've got people looking for a queen or a 10 for Broadway. Leads out with 50. Curtis is going to get out of the way. Kinsey's got the queen to Broadway. He could make this. He's up quite a bit. But he's going to elect not to. He's going to elect to stay up. Action's on Paul. He's asking how much. Or did Kinsey fold, excuse me. Kinsey does let it go. So now it's a set of aces versus a wheel draw and a half. Turn card comes out an 8. No completion of the straight. Robert just leads out with 100. And it looks like it got mucked just as fast as he bet it. And it did. Robert's not going to show it. He keeps his hand disguised. So there we go. Kinsey, 2,800. Billy, 1,800. Felipe, 16. Take that deck with you, Yvonne, if you would. On Omaha, we've got Little Red coming in, Monica coming in hot, sliding up to the table, pulling out that blue deck, and we're going to get started just like that. Corey jokingly says, I'm going to pull out the ace of spades. And of course, it was the 9 of hearts. He was close, but no cigar. The things these guys will bet on is incredible. I bet the next card's red. No, I bet it's black. Keeps the action going all night long. So first hand, $5 seems to be a good amount for everybody to get in there. Options checked. We got 6-way action. A lot of possibilities. That's what they look for in Omaha. Flop is going to come out. Looks like 4 of diamonds, ace of spades, 9 of spades possibly. Oh, I was off. 4 of clubs, ace of clubs, 9 of spades. Action comes out with a $30 bet. Robert leads out with top 2. Only flush draw is Corey's jack high. He does call the 30. Curtis calls the 30 with 8 of hearts on the turn. So Curtis now has a gut shot, looking for a 7. Rob leads out with $100. He's in it to play tonight. Action's over on Corey. Corey's going to let it go. Robert's built him a very, very nice image. Action's now on Paul, looking for that same 7 for the straight. I don't think he can call the 100 on the gut shot. Especially, Robert's betting like that because he's got the 7 blocker also. Robert's game has drastically, incrementally gotten better since he's been playing on the live stream. Not to say that he was ever a bad player, but man, he is starting to get great at this game, recognizing spots to go on. Really, really exceptional play there by Robert. Button moves over to Billy. Curtis says, I'm straddling for 10. I'm in it to win it. You can't win it unless you're in it, right? So once again, don't forget, tomorrow, Sunday Bounty, 2:30 p.m. Action's on Kinsey. Kinsey's not there. He probably wouldn't have played King, Jack, 7-5. A lot of hearts in that hand. He would have most likely let it go. Action's now over on Paul. Paul looks down at ace 8, 6, 3. He lets it go. Mr. Worsham's on a little heater here. There he is. He calls the $10 straddle. Ace 8, 4 deuce. Robbie's going to make the call with 55.82. And Corey's got a ton of hearts. We already saw 3 in Kinsey's hand. That's not good news. There's 1 in Billy's hand. That's 4 more of them gone. Billy's going to 3-bet it up to $50. That gets Curtis out of the way. His ducks are gone. His ducks are not in a row. Ha ha! See what I did there? Billy's going to lead out with $125. Flop comes out. King 10-9. Robert does do the right thing. He folds. Action's now on Corey. Corey's fishing for a jack. I don't think he can call that. So Billy's going to pull in $330. Nice little $155 profit. Button's now over on Curtis. With Kinsey not at the table, D'Addario takes action and straddles. He knows that it's a sleeper straddle right now, but it will be live only because Kinsey's not there. Otherwise, Kinsey would be doing the straddling. Sleeper is live. Action is now $10. Robert does make the call. I do like that hand too. He's got King Deuce of diamonds with a Queen 3 hidden in there of clubs. Felipe makes the call a 10. Corey makes the call a 10. Billy's going to make the call a 10. I bet you Curtis makes the call a 10. He does. And D'Addario checks. So we're going to have 6 ways, $60 in the pot headed to the flop. Possibilities, people. Flop comes out, King of clubs, Jack of clubs, 4 of clubs.
Okay.
That gives Robert the second nut flush. The ace is out there, but not in anyone's hand, so he is holding the nuts at the moment. However, Curtis does have a set of jacks. He's holding one of his own blockers. He's got one of the kings, so that does hurt his chances on hitting the king. So he's looking for a king or a 4 on the turn. We are heads up. Turn card comes out an 8. That gives him 3 more possibilities. Any 8, any 4, any king is going to give Curtis the win on the hand. Robert does elect to bet pot. Bets out $180. I don't think Curtis is going to go anywhere. King, an 8, a 4, or the case jack will give Curtis the win. And of course, a whiff on the river of the 7 of diamonds. And Robert has the best hand there. He leads out with $175. $175. Curtis can't call that with just a set of jacks with the flush on the board. And Robert's going to pull in $715. That's a week paychecks to most people. But with this inflation rate, it's only a gallon of milk.
Oh my gosh.
All right,
Or
updated.
a full tank of gas.
Yeah, or a full tank of gas, absolutely. Kinsey with a chip lead at 2,800, 2.8 thousand. Curtis is at the bottom of the row, but don't expect him to be there for long. That $250 with a double up will set around 600. Quick little riffle of the cards, and we are on to the next hand of PLO. Welcome back to the table, Mr. Ken Z. Last hand of Omaha was just announced. First action is going to be on Paul. You notice how he did not straddle with Kinsey back in the game. Kinsey will repop him and scare him. Looks like we may be having a player coming in seat 3. We're calling the 5. Everybody's calling 5. Why not? $5 make you holla. Well, Felipe folds. Action is now on Corey 5. That's a callable hand. 3 diamonds. Straight draw. Billy calls. Curtis calls. Kinsey calls. We got a bunch of calls going around. And that's trouble when Curtis is in the hand. He likes to wait on that river to make them sink.
Can't get Billy's cards.
Ace of spades, 7 of hearts, 6 of hearts.
I'm probably gonna have to do different chips.
Turn card comes out, an ace of hearts puts aces on the board, and Robert's ace 7 is going to grab that lead. Three-way action. $105 in the pot. Robert's going to bet it out with that top boat. And it's going to go fold, fold. Excuse me. You need Robert's cards also. Jokes always going around the table. Love the players here at Kojaks. Everybody's always in a good mood. Makes a good atmosphere. Actually, let me rephrase that. Makes a great atmosphere for everybody around. Game change, game change. We are on No Limit Hold'em. Welcome out, everybody. All right. Robbie raises with king 6 of clubs up to $20. Felipe looks down at pocket jacks. He says, I just called. I'm gonna hide it. Curtis looks down. All in. All you can eat. Felipe calls. What does Curtis have? All in and call by Felipe. Pocket jacks versus pocket eights. Thought comes out all spades. A 3 of hearts on the turn and a queen of spades on the river. And a pair of jacks is going to take it down. And Curtis does lose that hand. River card could not be friendly enough to be an 8 for him. So Mr. Curtis is out for the night. He's going to call it quits. He will be back next time, same place. Hand number 19, 5 on the button. Heads up action, 9-6 jack. Kenzie does not get any of that. Corey flops all of that. Corey flops 2 pair. Kenzie takes a stab. Kenzie gives that little glare over. Turn card comes out. Deuce of diamonds. Kenzie, no help to him. Kenzie might be done with his hand. $110 is the bet. Kenzie giving him that stare. Look at that smile. That smile. I call Kenzie GQ. That smile was like, I tried. You caught me. It's yours. So much is said in just a little look. Love this game. Like I said earlier, love this room. Quick update at the chip count. Kenzie's got 2,700. 2.7 thousand. Billy at 1.9. Felipe 1.8. Robert 1.4. Robbie 1.1. Paul and Corey both have right at $1,000. Already well over $10,000 on this table. Bring him in. It's in the store. So, under the gun, Felipe picking up Cowboys. Cowboys treated Kenzie good early. Action's now 25. Corey's going to let it go. Billy folds. Action's... Oh, man. Nobody has a hand to play. Nobody has a hand. What a waste of Cowboys. Chatting with a gentleman named Richard. He follows a couple of vloggers and they've come out here quite a few times. He's always wanted to try it out but just never got out here, man. We welcome you out. We got a free hour waiting for you. Oh, the Cowboys made a return. We got heads up action. King versus 87 offsuit. Flop comes out 7-9-3. Kinsey picks up a pair. Might get him in a little bit of trouble. An ace of spades on the turn puts 3 spades out there. Kinsey's got a spade. Robbie's got the big spade, though. And an ace on the river. That's kind of scary. Kinsey checks. And Robbie's very smart with that, because if he bets and Kinsey goes over the top, he would have to lay down those pocket kings. So very, very intelligent play by Robbie. Likes just to check it down and take the win, not have to put any extra money in the pot, and have to fold. Kinsey 2.4, Billy 1.9, Felipe 1.8. Robbie's up in his game, 1.4 in his stack now. What's his total? Kinsey's adding on 1,000 to his chip stack. Last hand of No Limit Hold'em.
All right, folks. Well, I just took Charlie's spot. This is Chris, if you don't know already, um, and I'll try to figure out what's going on with the game. As far as he was telling me that just kind of getting the notes there that Kinsey has just been running over the game. So said Robert's playing pretty good. So we'll, like I say, we'll just have to see what happens. From what I understand, they just opened it up, so there's no cap on what you can buy in for. And looks like we're going to have 6 players in the hand when it's all said and done. 8-9 king is the flop. With 2 diamonds, we only have one. Robbie's got queen deuce of diamonds and middle pair. 7. I think that completes somebody. That doesn't complete anybody. So 2 pair for Paul. And Corey has a straight flush draw. Jack of diamonds, Corey hits his straight flush. Wow, we have a straight flush. Straight flush. Don't see those very often. So Chris sits down as our dealer. Oh. So Robbie looks down at ace, king, king, queen, 2 diamonds. Philip looks down at ace, ace, king, queen. Flop comes out 10 jack 4. Robert picks up a set of 4s. And there's a full house for Robert. And Broadway for the other 2. But he goes check, check. So fours full of jacks will take it down. So Corey's got trip queens here. Paul's got the flush draw. Robert's got the real flush draw. And the flush gets there. And Paul calls, finds out the bad news. So Paul flops a boat. Yeah. Who won the last hand? Paul did. Yeah, with eights full of fives. Yeah, I guess the cards got swept in, even though they were shown. The cards got swept in early, and nobody at the table realized who won it except for Paul. He's like, I won that pot. Carmine just sat down. So Robert flops 2 pair with king high flush draw. If you look at some of those guys, they have less than 1%. That always cracks me up. You have less than 1%. And Robert's going to take it down. But that was pretty easy to take down because he had all the cards.